Hi, everybody, and welcome to our annual general meeting. Give you a chance to sit down. Delighted to have everybody here, and we've also got a whole bunch of people who are joining us online. So we think we've mastered the magicalness of running a hybrid meeting, but we'll be occasionally getting some feedback to make sure that people online can hear us, and they may well be asking questions and joining in. So we have a wider audience than the people here that you can see. Delighted that you've come today. This is our annual general meeting. Is an opportunity for us to talk to our membership about what the group's been doing, what we've achieved, share our annual report with you. You get to sign off our finances for the last year so that we can put those up on the Charity Commission website. And you are also invited to elect the next group of trustees who are going to take the charity forward for a future year. So I've been chair of this group since, I think, February 2018. 7 years is kind of quite enough, really, for many people. So this is going to be my last AGM where I stand as chair. I'm going to stay on as a trustee if elected, which is up to you. But I've had an amazing time being chair of this group. When I joined in February 2018, we had 2 part-time staff, about 250 members, and we were running quite a lot of things, and it was really, really good. But now we're at the point we've got at least about 650 paid members, a much bigger team of staff, and I think the charity has kind of continued to grow from strength to strength, and that's exactly what we want to do going forward. During that little period of time as well, lots and lots and lots of people living with ME and long COVID and fibromyalgia have been involved in all sorts of things, trying to influence national policy. We've put a huge amount of pressure on the government, which Sheffield people have contributed to update the NICE guideline. We still need to put more pressure to actually get it implemented because it is not being implemented yet. But the general knowledge and debate about the conditions continues to move forward. We are continuing to put more and more water between what is a biomedical condition and those people who still wish to consider it as a mental health condition. So all those things have improved quite dramatically, not because of me, but because of the huge amount of activism, energy and contributions of the many people around the country who have this incredible group of kind of horizontal warrior activists, really, which is just fantastic. Meanwhile, our group continues to create more and more opportunities for people to develop mutual support, get to know each other, feel less alone with it, feel like they're part of a community. And we've also been, I think one of the jewels in our crown is how the benefits service have actually taken a huge amount of stress out of people's lives and worked very closely with members to secure their financial situations as best we can. And we obviously know that all that is a little bit under threat at the moment, and I'm sure we'll be contributing to some of the feedback to the government about the impact of some of those changes. So in the room, I'm delighted that there are some key people here. So Burley Doherty is our ever loyal patron. Burley has turned up to many, many events. She's run writing things for us. She's run poetry things for us. She's read readings for us at Christmas and other events, and spoken and read other members' words at some of our on-street rallies that we used to do before the pandemic. So we're delighted that you've stayed so loyal to us, and a huge thank you to you from all of us. Maybe we can say that. I'm also just going to make a very brief mention of Mandy Jeffcock, who is one of the many unseen heroes of the group, who works tirelessly supporting loads and loads and loads of members. There are very few people who Mandy doesn't seem to know somehow. I don't know how, but you seem to know them. And Mandy has helped over the years with supporting people with PIP and benefits, and also just running lots of kind of ways of keeping in touch with and supporting people who are going through the ups and downs of living with this illness. So Mandy's been with the group since before it started, or something like that, a year after it started. Yeah. So Mandy's been with us, in her words, a heck of a long time. I'm just saying that for the people online. So from about a year after the group started, so from the early 1990s. Yeah, I'm delighted to open the kind of last AGM that I have to chair. So I'm hoping somebody else will be doing it next year. And it's been an absolute privilege and an honour to be part of this kind of movement, really, and to work with a very, very competent group of staff and my lovely loyal trustees who've actually kind of stuck with us through thick and thin. We've had some bumpy times. Together, we've worked as a team and we've managed to navigate our way through quite difficult circumstances. So a big thank you to all my fellow trustees. Big thank you to the staff. The AGM is a chance to say a huge thank you to all your work, and to Em, who keeps the office running smoothly, to Claire, who's our whiz tech person, and to Maria, who's newly imposed as the charity director. So for the year in question, 2024, we had Eliane Bardot as director till about halfway through the year. Pauline Camantas, who worked temporarily steering the charity, and now we're absolutely delighted that Maria's come into post and has taken over the mantle and will lead us going forward. So I think without further ado, I'm going to invite Maria to talk us through the year 2024.
Thank you, and hello. As Caroline said, I'm Maria Ashmore, the new director of the charity. Really new as well. I've been here for nearly 3 months, I think. So I'm speaking about a year that I wasn't here for primarily, but obviously there's a focus on kind of looking back, taking stock, but really looking forward as well. So I'm going to be concentrating on 2024. Can you not hear me? Right, I'll shout up a bit, sorry. That's not normally a problem that I have. So when I started thinking, can you hear me now? All right, yeah. Started thinking about what to kind of reflect on of what I know of the charity, what I've learned so far, 3 months in post. It's that people are really at the heart of this charity, whether that's staff, volunteers, people. There's a real sense of kind of lived experience driving the charity forward. And in my experience of working in lots of different charities over nearly 20 years, that's really rare. And that's often the hardest thing to get. So I'm really proud that we've got lots of lived experience and that people can engage with us in lots of different ways, whether it's online and the Facebook groups or singing. We've had other various events, craft groups, and people. There's lots of ways to engage with us. So I get a real sense when I'm sat in the office that people are at the heart of this charity, and that feels really important to me. And in terms of what we do lots of things. The team do lots of things. But looking through all the pictures from last year, this is something that kind of struck me as what we do. When I hear Em answer a call or Kerry or Emma take a call about benefits, I think what we do is give people hope, and we see people, we give people recognition that it's not all in their heads, that we do understand that there is help and there is support and there is peer support. So it feels like once people find their way to us, often it's a bit of a journey to get there, what I've learned so far. But when they do get to us, I think we can absolutely give them hope and open up the door to that peer support and lots of other kind of types of support. Well, that's a kind of officially what we do. That's what the hope's categorized into. But it's quite an astonishing amount of work that's delivered actually by 6 staff, some of whom are very part-time, some of whom are completely remote. There's lots of different things that we do, and I'm sure most of you are aware of those, but they are all, in my mind, services that we provide with a really small team. So for people who that's a little bit small for at the back, we've got the helpline, peer support, that's online and in person. The website is a real source of support and information. The newsletter and magazines, we've mentioned the welfare and benefits service. And then Carolyn touched on the influencing and awareness raising. Well, that's a real kind of strength of the charity. But what does that actually mean? So we've got our, this should have gone out to everybody that's joined online, and everybody in the room has a copy of it, annual report from last year. And we've categorized what that actually means and what the impact has been so far. I'm not going to go through everything, but some of those numbers are quite astonishing, actually. At the minute, we categorize our help in terms of outcomes. So as I was saying, the website was kind of like a silent support, really. Last year, nearly 45,000 people visited our website. And then nearly 20,000 of those are unique visitors, so single people coming to our website. So 20,000 people looking to us for support in a year is quite astonishing, really, for a charity that has 6 staff and, you know, obviously volunteers supporting as well. But we're really small for the kind of outputs that we deliver. Again, this is some information around the benefit support. When you look at the numbers, so £618,000 income generated for people that have coming through our service to literally Emma and Kerry, who both work 4 days a week. It's astonishing, really, that the amount of work and support that you're able to generate. So it's, yeah, for such a small charity, it's fantastic, and we're all really proud of it. Again, all the groups, there's so many different little groups that people are attending every week, every month. People attend multiple little groups, but that's all kind of a web of peer support. And there's more information about meetups as well, and a specific mention of the Facebook. As I've said a few times, it's a really small team that deliver this, and everybody works so hard. We've got Pauline on there, who was my predecessor, who was with us temporarily. Claire is completely remote, but works her absolute socks off with comms and delivers, you know, supporting volunteers as well. Because Becca, one of our trustees, delivers the magazine, and we're all in kind of constant contact through various platforms, and it's a web of people working really, really hard. So I'd just like to say a huge thank you and give the staff a round of applause as well, please. Thank you. But also, we have other people that are helping us, and not just behind the scenes. So as Carolyn said, she's going to be stepping down today as chair, and after a long time helping and running this charity for a long number of years. So we wanted to mark that and say a huge thank you to Carolyn. So we've got a little gift. If you're all right, because I'll go off mic if I we've got a gift and a card, and we wanted to say a huge thank you from all the trustees and staff and volunteers and members to Carolyn for all your hard work with the charity over the years. And a round of applause. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you. I'm not on mic, so I can't say anything. So
yeah.
Yeah, speaking to Maria's left shoulder. We're getting to know each other quite well now, so yeah. Just this is really, really sweet of you. Thank you very, very, very much. And as I say, it's been an absolute honour and a privilege. And you know, people living with ME and fibromyalgia and long COVID are it's known as an invisible illness, and lots of the people living with it are kind of just not very visible in the outer world. But we all know what it's like living with these illnesses, and we all know those people are there. And it's just absolutely crucial that we continue to reach out and to find as many people as we possibly can and give them a contribution and a voice in their future health and welfare. But huge thank you. It's been an absolute delight to work for this charity. So, and I'm not going away.
Thank you. I'll just remake myself. Is that all right, Claire? Not used to this. Yeah. Thank you, Carolyn. And obviously there are lots of other volunteers supporting us in the background, the trustees, everybody that runs the groups. There's lots of people that make this charity work. I think around 50 volunteers are registered with us. So there's a huge effort for, as I said, I keep saying small charity, but the output is not small at all. The team is amazingly so. So thank you to all the volunteers as well. When I start thinking about where to next, I mean, it might actually just be Barnsley, Doncaster, and Rotherham. No, we're not going that far afield, but we are a regional charity. Where for lots of obvious reasons and necessity, we're kind of the primary focus and delivery has been in Sheffield. But there have been pockets of work over the years in the regional footprint. But that's one of my focuses and concentrations, is to try and get us working more across the regional, which is South Yorkshire and North Derbyshire, which mirrors the footprint of the ME clinic in Sheffield. So that will be one of the places that I want us to go, with all the members still having that kind of member-led and member focused and going out and listening to people across those regions. Another aspect of where to next is diversity and inclusion for me as well. For us as a charity, we talked about it as a trustee board, and that is, and when I talk about inclusion, I mean groups that are marginalised by any kind of protected characteristic, whether that be gender, sex. You know, we're conscious, very conscious of as Carolyn said, the political climate. We want to be trans inclusive as an organisation. We want to reach communities that are marginalised by race and culture. So that's a real focus for us. And I think it's kind of twofold in terms of people being hidden by the illness, but also a bit of an echo there. Obviously, if there are other barriers for people, they're even more hidden. So that's going to be a focus, definitely. That's me done. Has anybody got any questions about any of that? It's a brief, really brief whiz through. We're conscious of time, but anybody got any questions or huge objections to anything that I've said, or comments or anything? I might need you to, I'll if you say the question.
Comment. I just wanted to say another big thank you to Carolyn for all that she's done for the charity. And I've worked with her for 7 years now, and I know that it's been absolutely. There's nothing that she will do.
Yeah. Thank you, Isabel. So one of our trustees, Isabel, has just said another thank you to Carolyn and for all her work and determination and support for people living with the conditions, which I'm sure is echoed in the room, and said also about the lobbying work, which is really important role for the organisation, for the charity. Thank you. Anybody else? No? Okay. Thank you very much. Right. So we're going to head on to the financial report now. Yeah. everybody, and apologies for people that have had the accounts email, there was an issue with the PDF not squashing it right, which we rectified yesterday, but there are printed copies in the room as well. I have headlines from Claire, who works with us, Claire Bateman, who deserves another special thank you as well. She works remotely and lives with Emmy and is an amazing bookkeeper. So she's sent us through some kind of headlines. I'm not going to go through it all, but we will send it out afterwards in terms of main points. But she's just said that it's a really healthy, stable financial position, which I think we are in now as well. Again, for a small charity, we've done really well in previous years on fundraising and in management of finances. Something that might look like a bit of an anomaly to some people on the accounts, which is quite a standard thing for a charity, is we were paid up front for quite a few contracts. So awards for all from the National Lottery, sometimes funders pay up front. So that made us look like we've not spent everything on the awards for all, but it's just been carried through to this year. So yeah, we are healthy currently. I'm quite conscious that it's timed. The current financial situation is concrete until the end of 2026, beginning of 2027. So fundraising is also a focus. But we have received a number of grants that have put us in a good position. And also members continue to donate and fundraise for us. So a huge thank you for that. We couldn't do the work that we're doing without that. We had a higher expenditure in 2024. There was a 25k increase. That's due to activities and staffing. As Carolyn said, we've got more staff now than we ever have. Previously, there was a surplus, but I've explained that it's the unspent lottery. And we are in a healthy position in terms of unrestricted funds as well. And also in terms of reserves. Our budget that we set for ourselves is 38k, and that's currently at 78k. So we are healthy in terms of financial reserves as well. So another huge thank you to Claire, and I know Carolyn's been really involved in setting the budget to where it is currently, and in some of the fundraising, I've no doubt. So yeah, I think I'm happy that we are in a good position currently. We've got plans for fundraising, and we've got a number of things in place in terms of levels of managing the finance in the organisation as well. Are there any questions on any of that? Are there any questions from online or in the room? No? Yeah. So we need it's people that are only people that are members to formally adopt and approve the accounts for 2024. If that's okay, if you can raise your hands. Thank you. I think they are formally adopted. Okay, I think that's everything. I think Carolyn's been checking online. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen hands online as well. Oh, lots of hand raising online, that's all.
Oh. Okay. The other little financial thing we have to do is our accounts by the requirement of the Charity Commission have to be independently examined, which is a different thing to audited. It's a slightly lesser thing, but they are still very thoroughly looked over by Craig Williamson, who's been doing it for us for, I don't know, yonks. So I would like to nominate Craig Williamson to continue to be our accountant for the coming year. He does all our payroll for us, and he works very closely with Claire Bateman, who's been working 3 hours a week doing our financial work for us. So could I nominate Craig Williamson, please? And would you like to second, Isabel? Thank you. All those in favour? we have no concerns about him, so we're very keen to do it. Are there some hands up online, please? All those in favour of Craig Williamson continuing to do our accounts for us? Lovely. Okay, so thank you very much. That's just a bit of procedure we have to do, and we have to minute. And then the last bit that we're going to do in this meeting, I'm going to wind up in a couple of minutes, is to elect the trustees for the coming year. The way our constitution describes it, a constitution which was written in 2002, I'd love to update it, but there you go. It says that the AGM nominates the trustees, and then at the trustees' first meeting, which will be June the 20th, I think, the trustees amongst themselves allocate the roles of treasurer, secretary, chair, etc. So my role as chair finishes at the end of the June meeting, by which time I really hope we'll have another chair. So what we've got is which we've sent out to you, is the list of the trustees who are willing to stand. So that includes Becca, who we know, who does the magazine and has been a trustee with us for some years. Isabel, who you've met, who is our safeguarding trustee and HR specialist. Ellen Roy, who I think is probably online, and who's a person living with the conditions in North Sheffield, and does quite a lot of the craft activities now. Alison Miller, who is also online with us, has been a trustee for a couple of years now. Simon Briggs, who is coordinating the online input into this, who's been a trustee with us for some years now. And then two new trustees have stepped forward, one of whom is Dave Allen. Would you like to say hi? Who's sat at the back of the room here. We're absolutely delighted that Dave is coming on board to join the trustees. And Dave has been working with us through, we have funding through the Lloyds Bank Foundation, and they have offered us some consultancy time. So Dave has actually been supporting the charity for about the last 9-ish months, particularly helping look at impact statements, evaluation and governance. So we're delighted that Dave's come on board to offer to be a trustee, because he brings with it himself considerable experience of governance, and that will be very, very welcomed. And the other new trustee, if you're happy to elect her, is Dr. Caroline Dalton, who's here. Caroline is just an incredibly internationally acclaimed researcher in the field of MECFS and long COVID, has done one of our talks with us alongside Risha Pretorius from Stellenbosch in South Africa. So Caroline, I mean, what there is to know about research and ME is, if Caroline doesn't know it, it doesn't exist. So she has, her brain looks this big, but actually it's that big. So she's fabulous. So I'm really hoping that Dave will really support the charity, get to the highest possible level in terms of its governance, and that Caroline will really, really support the charity and the work of the staff team in ensuring that as we go forward, we actually know what we're doing and what we're talking about. So that's going to be brilliant. Isabel. Okay. One of those I was going to mention is Chris Cook, who is here. Chris has been, who's just offered within sort of less than a 7-day period to get on that sheet of paper. So Chris has offered to step forward as a trustee. He's been running drop-ins at Stannington, been running the Plant Lovers group, comes to the swimming and, sorry, I don't mean to tell everybody your life, but has been an active member of the group for some time. So we've had a conversation. Chris is going to come to the June meeting as an observer, and if he'd like to go forward and stand as a trustee, we can take that forward then. And who's the other person? Mandy, are you? Yay! Mandy's been a trustee in the past, so you know some of what it's about. So that's amazing. And you know, there is nobody in the field of ME around Sheffield that Mandy doesn't seem to have come across at some point in the last many decades, in fact. So Yeah, so lovely. So perhaps we'll have a conversation. You'll do the same. Come as an observer, decide if you definitely want to do it, and that would be fantastic. So I think between all those people, we have an incredibly competent set of trustees going forward, and I can do a bit less, and everybody else can do a bit more, which is my plan, really. So rather than go through everybody one by one, I'm wondering whether would you be comfortable if we just sort of take one vote for the whole lot at once? Is that okay? If anybody wants to ask questions or query anything before we vote, are there any questions online? Anything else? Yeah, yeah. So I would like to propose to the room to ask whether you'd be in favour of nominating this group of individuals to be trustees going forward, with the possibility of Chris and Mandy joining as well. So is that all right to do all that in one go? Any feedback from online?
Online, if anybody objects.
Yeah, yeah. Or they can put thumbs down if they're not happy or got any questions. Yeah. Okie dokie. So I would like to propose that this is a set of trustees going forward to work very closely with Maria and the rest of the team to steer the charity onwards and upwards. All those in favour? Okay, thank you. People voted online?
Yes. If anybody isn't.
Yeah, okay. And anybody against? Anybody wish to record abstaining? Well, I think that's the team sorted then for the next year, and we'll be back again in a year's time, tell you what we've been up to, and please, 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 this charity is absolutely depends on input from members and from people living with the conditions. So all the support we can give to help Maria with the task of reaching right out across South Yorkshire and North Derbyshire, and of actually creating opportunities for mutual support and doing education and awareness. Anything that you can contribute and help with will be gratefully received. Meanwhile, my plan for me is to do a bit more nationally, because I've been doing some stuff with the Department for Health and Social Care Delivery Plan and through some of the other national charities. So I'm going to do a little bit less locally and a little bit more nationally, but with and on behalf of people here. So I think I'm happy to wind up the AGM. Are you happy? Is there anything else I've forgotten? Anybody else want to ask anything about anything? So, okay, so is there any other questions from online? No, lovely. So I'm going to wind up this 2025 AGM. We'll be back here about the same time next year. And meanwhile, you've got about 5 minutes to have a quick comfort break and grab a drink, another sandwich. There's a lot of gluten-free biscuits that need to go. And we'll see you back here at 2:15, where we are absolutely thrilled and delighted to have Dr. Michelle Bull from Physios for ME talking about kind of future directions in terms of service design and delivery. So we'll see you back again at 2:15. Okay, please carry on putting questions in the chat and the rest of it. So lovely. Big thank you to everybody. Thank you for standing. Thank you to my lovely trustees.